Hello, my name is Nani and welcome to my channel where I share with you my top tips on how to look good, feel good, and smell good from the inside out. In today's video, we're talking all about smelling good. And so I want to go ahead and share with you guys basically 5 fragrances from my collection that I typically wear during the summertime. I'm not really a summertime type of gal. I don't like hot weather, and so I don't have a huge collection specified or dedicated for summer seasons, but I do have 5 of them that I typically rotate during this time of the year. So of course, if you guys love fragrance videos and you love talking about products in general, make sure that you go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alrighty, so jumping right into this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and get my least favorite out of the way just because you guys already know how I feel about this scent, but I can't lie that the scent itself, and I feel like just the fact that it's very kind of like watery and quenching, it's like a very quenching type of scent, I feel like it's definitely perfect during this time of the year. And this is going to be Dolce & Gabbana's Toile Imperatrice. And of course, you guys know how I feel about this pretty much. Again, in terms of this scent, as I mentioned to you guys before, I don't get much longevity on my skin, but I do feel like this definitely is a very kind of like quenching scent. It's very kind of like aquatic, fresh, watery type of scent, if that makes sense. You get the kiwi notes, you get the watermelon, you get maybe a little bit of a strawberry note in there as well. It's very kind of like juicy, but it smells very kind of like a body splash in my opinion. I do feel like although I don't really get much longevity, I typically gravitate towards this scent if I wear it on its own or if I layer it with something else. I do typically gravitate towards this scent more during the summer seasons just because of that very fresh type of element of this scent. I do think that when it comes to this fragrance though, that I feel like a teenager or somebody that's maybe works outdoors or something like that, I feel like would really enjoy this scent just because it's a very sweet fragrance. This is basically kind of like a fruit basket in fragrance form. It basically smells like the watermelon, the kiwi, pretty much the strawberry notes. It's a very kind of like juicy, sweet, fruity scent, if that makes sense. It isn't one that I gravitate towards very often, but I do feel like because of kind of like how fresh it is, this is definitely a perfect scent for summer seasons as well. So again, this is going to be Dolce & Gabbana Toile Imperatrice, and this is the Eau de Toilette as well. The next one is going to also be a Dolce & Gabbana fragrance, and this is one that probably a lot of people already have in their collection. This one or the intense version, and this is the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I like the packaging for this, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really get much longevity out of this one either. In terms of this scent though, I will say that it does smell a little bit more interesting than the last fragrance that I mentioned to you. It has a little bit more going on. You definitely still get a very kind of like fresh, a burst of citrus in the opening for sure. So in the opening, it's very kind of like fresh and citrusy, which I do enjoy. It's kind of like a lemon. Smells like a lemon or a lime. It's more of like a lemon probably, just like that citrus note. It's definitely very fresh, very invigorating. It's very uplifting, especially in the opening. But on my skin, the longer that it dries down, I do get more of the floral notes on this scent, and it does have a little bit of a powderiness to it as well. But I do feel like it's a pretty basic powdery floral scent with just some citrus notes. That's basically what it smells like to me. But if you enjoy really citrusy type of fragrances, something that has a little bit of a zestiness to it, something that's very fresh, something that's pretty much like easy to wear, you'll definitely enjoy this just because the floral type of element to this scent definitely helps to kind of make it a little bit more of a unique fragrance and just makes it a little bit more wearable throughout the day. This is definitely one that I would recommend to wear a lot more during the daytime. It's not really a nighttime scent in my opinion, even during the summertime, unless you're basically kind of like next to the pool all day long type of thing. But it's a very zesty, very citrusy, very fresh, invigorating type of fragrance. So if you like those type of scents, you'll probably really enjoy this. Hopefully you get a little bit more longevity than I do, but I have heard a lot of people say that it lasts a little bit longer on their skin. So again, that's going to be Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau de Toilette. The next one I want to mention to you is going to be a celebrity fragrance, and I'm almost done with this, and this is Beyonce's, I think this is called Mrs. World Carter Tour, I believe. And this one is probably one of my favorite summertime scents. I don't know what it is about this scent, but I just feel like it has a little bit more of an interesting take on a summer fragrance. It doesn't smell kind of like just that citrus note that's in the Dolce & Gabbana light blue. I feel like this one definitely has kind of like a mix of a citrus, a mix of a woody warmness to the scent, a little bit of a musky powderiness in the base, and I feel like this definitely smells a little bit more wearable in my opinion. More like something that I would prefer to smell like. I feel like this one has maybe like an orange note or a tangerine or something like that, or a clementine or something like that, but it just smells, I don't know, it smells very sweet, it's floral. It has a little bit of a juicy element to it, but I feel like it's definitely very well blended, and there's also something that's a little bit more sweet. So I feel like the sweetness definitely adds a little bit of a playful nature to the scent, which I feel like is perfect during the summer season, just because we're all going to like barbecues and staying by the pool and just hanging out with friends and family and things like that. So I feel like this definitely has the best of both worlds. You get the citrus note, but it's not like a strong zesty citrus. It's more of like I mentioned, a very sweet kind of like tangerine or something like that. And it also does have a little bit more of a powdery, floral nature to it the longer that it sits on your skin. So I feel like this one is one that you can transition easily from daytime to nighttime as well during the summertime, and it just smells a little bit more interesting. This kind of smells a little bit more playful to me. It smells playful and youthful, but at the same time it doesn't smell kind of like something that a kid would wear, if that makes sense. I feel like any age would probably really enjoy this scent, but it doesn't smell juvenile. It doesn't smell like something that you'll feel out of place wearing if you're a grown woman wearing this scent. So again, that's going to be Beyonce's Mrs. World Carter Tour, I believe is the full name of it. The next fragrance that I want to mention to you is going to be by Vince Camuto, and this is called Capri. I really like the packaging itself. It looks very unique. And when it comes to this scent, it definitely smells and gives me a similar vibe to the Beyonce scent, in the sense where it's like you get kind of like a fresh, powdery, citrusy element to this fragrance, but I do like the fact that there is a violet note in here, and on my skin the violet is definitely very present, and I feel like the violet definitely gives it a very, I don't know, a just very unique, sweet, feminine, almost a little bit of a delicate type of nature to the scent as well. It does project beautifully, and I feel like this one definitely gives me a lot more longevity as well, just because in the base it has a musk note and it also has a vanilla note, which I feel like both of them definitely gives this fragrance a little bit more character. It definitely adds to the sensuality of the fragrance itself. It also makes it a little bit more wearable from daytime to nighttime, and as I mentioned, the violet note is definitely the one that's most prominent on my skin, besides like the citrus notes and things like that. But the violet definitely gives it a little bit more of a delicate nature, just makes it a little bit more powdery. It has a peach blossom note in here as well. So I just feel like this one is more of a fresh, powdery citrus scent, but it also does have a little bit of a creaminess, a little bit of a smooth nature to it because of the vanilla and the base itself. So this one is probably going to be one of my favorites from all of the ones that I'm mentioning to you, just because the violet note is definitely one that I really enjoy on my skin. I just feel like it just makes it very pretty, very delicate, very feminine, and a little bit more sensual as well. So again, that's going to be Vince Camuto's Capri. Now the next fragrance that I want to mention to you is also one of my favorites out of the list that I'm mentioning to you, and this one is by Giorgio Armani, and this is Acqua di Joy, I think is the pronunciation for this, and this is basically what it looks like. I feel like when it comes to this one, I just like the freshness of this scent, but it's not as citrusy and harsh of a citrus as the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. This one I feel like is a more aromatic, fresh, floral, green type of scent. It's not an overly green fragrance, just because I have a hard time dealing with those, but I feel like this one is kind of like a soapy, fresh out the shower, very aromatic, floral type of scent, and it does have some woody notes in the base as well, which I feel like makes it to where it just balances out the fragrance. It adds a little bit of a masculinity to the scent, but it's still a very feminine fragrance. But I feel like the woody notes definitely just gives it a little bit more versatility as well. And I just like the fact that it's a fresh scent, but it smells very kind of like soapy, very clean, very fresh out the shower, very easy to wear scent. And of course, as you guys can probably tell, this is the one that I've used probably the most out of a lot of the ones that I've mentioned to you, just because I feel like this is a very straight to the point, fresh floral green fragrance. It's extremely aromatic, very easy to wear, easy to transition from daytime to nighttime. This is not one that I reserve only for summer seasons. This is definitely one that I think that you can wear year round if you're more into fresh out the shower, clean, floral fragrances. So again, that's going to be Acqua di Joy by Giorgio Armani. I believe that's the way that you actually pronounce the scent, but that's going to be pretty much the last fragrance that I wanted to mention to you. Out of the 5 fragrances that I've mentioned, the 3 that I wear the most, to be honest, are going to be these 3, which I'm sure that you guys probably could guess that. So it's going to be the Beyonce Mrs. World Carter Tour, which I'm almost done with, the Vince Camuto Capri, and then the Acqua di Joy by Giorgio Armani. Those are the 3 that I pretty much gravitate towards the most. So of course, let me know down below if you guys have these fragrances and how you guys personally feel about them. And also let me know what's your favorite or what's your go-to summer fragrance. I would love to hear from you guys. Something that's just not boring and just kind of like the common citrus, something that's a little bit more wearable from daytime to nighttime, and maybe even something that can be worn all year round as well. Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much again for tuning into another video. If you guys enjoyed this content, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more, and of course make sure that you guys turn on your notifications so that you're up to date every time I upload a new video. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you guys have an awesome day. God willing, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.